Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. I am going to take a second to remember where we are. We have a secession happening in China. And this diplomatic play is between us and Italy. Okay, it's us and Italy and Morocco against France and Japan and some others. What an interesting situation. Army of the Isthmus is on its way over here. Let's actually station you in New Guinea, just because I don't want to be in a situation where this happening... Actually, no, you'll be out of there by... Nah, it'll be fine. So you can send that unit. Because we're going to naval invade Japan, and that's going to solve that problem. So, we got units on other fronts. American Expeditionary Forces conscripts are raised. Army of the Great Plains does not have its conscript raised, similar to... but the Coastal Defense Divisions have. Alright, easy peasy. I think that should be fine. Do we want to raise the conscripts of the Army of Central Africa? I think yes. Alright, let's get down to it. Let me see, this isn't going to be too long at this stage. Oop. Escalation paused. Why did escalation pause? Because France is throwing in more war goals. You want Sahara and East Sahara. Well, those are mine. You can't have that. Gosh darn it. You're going to make me put a real army in there, huh? Alright. Let's throw the Army of the Andes in. And we'll raise conscripts for them. You know what? We'll do it. Not for the Army of the Isthmus, not yet, at least, because they're going to do a naval invasion. I don't want to have their situation be kind of goofed up. Actually going to send the 2nd Coastal Defense Division to China as well. Because Japan has a habit of kicking off multiple fronts. Oh, uh-oh. This is actually going faster than I thought it was going. So, again, we'll move these units to our allies' area in northern China, so that they're not in Fujian when that... Oh, my goodness. A Tonga secession. And Laurenco Marquez. Didn't we just have one of these? You need to stop. Because I'm in the process of incorporating you. I am doing my best to get you the everything that you desire, and it's not... You're making it very difficult. Alright. I think we'll probably send the Army of Central Africa there when the time comes. But not now. In any case, kindly burn this letter. Albert Weems, a prominent member of the Republican Party, has been accused of gross corruption. He strenuously denied all allegations until damning letters surfaced signed by him. Yes, I'm willing to discuss the contents of these letters with the committee, if only I'm given enough time to study the contents of these letters in my personal chambers first. Of course, on my honor, I will not alter or destroy any of the evidence. Honest. I can have them stand by him and reduce their momentum. I can have them isolate themselves and reduce his popularity, or I can reduce his popularity a little less. I'm going to cost them a little momentum. We'll see how things go in the election. We'll see how that affects things. Min secession is about to kick off, and there it is. So that means the Formosan uprising, we will need to send an army there to take that area back, but it shouldn't be an issue. Alright, let's get our fleets deployed somewhere that... Oh. Hello. Bureaucracy shortage. That's curious. Let's see. We do have all... Oh, you know what? I knew that was there. That's being worked on. There's a plan. We have a plan. 2 arms. So, first and foremost... Let's go ahead and launch our naval invasion of Japan. We're going to grab the Army of the Isthmus, and I'm going to land them in Kyushu. And Japan does not have any defenses there, so that should not be a problem. Let's go ahead and put the Army of Central Africa on a defense footing for now, while the front looks kind of weak. We'll do the same for the Army of West Africa. And then we will see how things go more broadly. Force comparisons are looking pretty alright in Italy and other areas. They're not the greatest, but they could definitely be worse. Alright, undefended front, excuse me. Well, there was an undefended front for a second. The revolutionary line. With the Communist Party's campaign funds well established, Pearlie Sedgwick has proposed to the party leadership that a quantity of these funds may be repurposed for the party's more clandestine activities. We, as the proletariat, are bound to follow the course that will lead to the realization of socialism in the United States of America, and eventually the world. The upper class will not simply step aside peacefully. Even if we must follow this parliamentary course, we must develop forces to avert the inevitable coup that will follow our victory. The funds may be repurposed for the training of our Red Guards, reduced momentum, increased radicalization of the armed forces, or the risk in being implicated in a scandal is too high. Pearlie Sedgwick gains cautious, interesting, reduced infamy generation, that's pretty rad, and extra momentum. We'll do the second one. That puts me where I want to be. We are doing an unopposed invasion of Japan, and as you can see, two fronts have been created, and that's why I put the 2nd Coastal Defense Division here. This army can take the Ryukyus without a problem, and then we'll have them turn around and invade the Formosan Uprising. We're almost where we want to be in Africa with the Army of the Andes, and these fronts are continuing to improve in position, so I'm pretty happy about that overall. Alright, this front is looking much better. We'll turn these two generals in the Army of Central Africa over to attack. I'm not going to pull them down to the Tonga secession quite yet, because I don't need to. Nationalist Opera. The performance of an opera with nationalist revolutionary themes at the upcoming festival is being openly associated with the Tonga secession movement by its proponents. Monday the 23rd, fireworks. Tuesday the 24th, illuminations. Wednesday the 25th, revolution. Cancel the fireworks, 10% of Tonga pops become more radical. Cancel the illuminations, reduce bureaucracy, 5% of Tonga pops become more radical. Or cancel the revolution, minus 10% authority. It's 5 years. You know what? I'm okay with a little extra radicalization. That's not a problem for me. Force comparisons are looking pretty good. Successful invasion of Japan has been completed. Selangor wants foreign investment rights. I don't desire those. And there's the Tonga secession kicking off. That is just fine. This front is balanced now. So we don't need to worry about the Tonga secession for a while. Beautiful. Alright, so the 2nd Coastal Defense Division has finished its work in the Ryukyus. Now they're going to take over Shikoku, which is just fine. That's exactly where we want them. Force comparisons on our main fronts seem really solid, and we're actually taking territory here in France. So I'm feeling generally really optimistic about that whole situation. Game's kind of chugging along here, so we're doing our best. All right, beautiful. So 2nd Coastal Defense Division is sorted. I'm going to put them over here. Ew, am I? Or am I going to have them here to invade Formosa? No, I think I'm going to take over the rest of Japan with the Army of the Isthmus and then let them handle it, because the army of the Pacific Fleet was defeated. Good thing that one wasn't the one over there. Oh, interesting. You're trying to invade America, huh? Fools. Absolute dum-dums. Well, it looks like Japan is actually finally putting an army here to oppose us. That's grand. So, where is Japan vis-a-vis their capitulation? 55 war support, losing 11 per week. I think that's completely fine. Once our allies get here to hold this front, I think we'll just have them hold that front and then invade Formosa. Actually, we might not... Oh, that front just sorted itself out by accident. Well, that's grand. Alright, we got a lot of notifications happening. Something's going on in China, which is that the Fengtian clique and the Shandong clique are fighting. Well, good luck, you two. Alright, so there's the Formosan uprising. We'll just quickly get started invading there with the army of the Isthmus. They are already on the sea, so it shouldn't be an issue. We'll suffer reduced efficiency, but I'm not actually really concerned about that much at all. Force comparison here is still pretty good. Force comparison here is still very bad, but that's alright. We're pushing forward in France, and that's kind of the thing that matters. Specifically prepared. Ooh, Afro-Caribbean, mass immigration. I had another army over here, and they have not gone back to the United States. So where are they at? They are over here in Dixie. All right. Sorry, over here in Dixie, France. In the old south of France. All right, there's crushed Formosan secession completed. We'll go ahead and throw the army of the Isthmus over here on the main front in Morocco. I actually think the army of Dixie I need on this front as well, because force comparison there is looking better. A rational discussion. While meeting to discuss ideas, Orrin Wingate and Jonathan Palmer enjoyed a civil and enlightening conversation. Most expected a brawl. Some say that opposites attract, others that opposites repulse. A few understand that one of the natures of opposites is change. Fire and water to steam, spark and gunpowder to explosion, heat and ore to metal. And so it is with a good faith debate, a leap in thought to form fresh ideas. Liberal civility is the way forward. Extra momentum for the Republicans. Orrin Wingate's conduct ought to be commended. He gets honorable. Interesting. Or even the opposition should be heard. Extra momentum for the communists. I'm going to go for extra momentum for the communists right now. Let me just double check. It's been a minute. Robert Johnson is still the president. That's right, because things are kind of silly. Things are a little silly in the politics. So if this army leaves this front, that should be just fine. I got a lot of armies deployed here, but I want to be able to get Inner Morocco back so that I can make sure that we don't lose over there. This army's almost on the way over here. I got to make sure I get incorporating this right away as soon as that situation sorts itself out, because if I don't, we're going to have a real headache on our hands. Ah. That's the election. Earl Eato is the new president. So, let me see. President Earl Eato, Petite Bourgeoisie, pacifist, brave, experienced defensive strategist, offensive planner. We actually can have a legitimate government with the Republicans, so we'll go ahead and do that. For now. Anything we want to change? Could go to graduated taxation. There's a movement for that. I don't want to risk something like that whilst we're in the middle of a war. Everyone would be happy if we went to migration controls. Let's go ahead and do that. and see if that gives us a little bit of leeway. It's got a 100% enactment chance, so it's just waiting out the situation. Gosh, that's a lot of radicals. Oh, interesting. That's right. They changed up migration controls so that internal migration is still allowed. That's cool. Oh, but no, I'm not going to do this. I want to leave an avenue for Native American pops to relocate to the Indian Territory. So, do I want to get involved in this situation here in China? War goals. Make protectorate war goal. That's interesting. What about you? A conquer state war goal on... Wait. Oh. Shandong click. A conquer state war goal on one of these areas would be nice to have. Maybe perhaps Shandong itself. On the other hand, I think if no one else in Europe gets involved in that, I think I can let that one go without causing myself a problem or someone else a problem. Alright, there's the Batanga Uprising. Alright, and Japan has bailed out of the war, which is just fine. And this army should be dealing with that very, very soon. Japan wants a trade agreement. Absolutely. I would love that. No hard feelings. Literally none hard feelings. Looks like we are moving forward in Morocco. Once again, because France has all of these war goals. Oh, interesting. France does have war sport protection because Morocco... Or, no. I see. France has war sport protection because they're holding French Inner Morocco. And then we have war sport protection because France is trying to take over all of Morocco. Beautiful. That situation is sorted. I'm going to actually send the 2nd Coastal Defense Force to this other front, because I think that's a more important front than this one here in the desert. Obviously, I want to not lose Sahara or East Sahara, but... And I have war sport protection as well, as long as I hold those two states, correct? Yes. So as long as I'm holding this front, I'll be fine. But obviously, we are going over to a much more significant offensive footing over here in Morocco to get these territories back. We got another Hell on Earth event. The perpetrators will pay for their crimes. That'll put a stop to the situation. Let me just take a second to handle these diplomatic plays. This one, nobody got involved, so I'm going to not get involved. This one is a revolt in Sierra Leone. Can I get a subject? No, I cannot. We will let that one go. Another revolt against British rule in this one in the Ionian Islands. We'll let that go. And then this one is a revolt in Bulangan. I will let that go. Finances are extremely Robert Borked here. Let's go ahead and throw another consumption tax in there, see if we can offset a tiny amount of that. We'll tax the cars. We're still boosting the trade unions. That's kind of where all of our authority is going at the moment. This is a very expensive war. If I raise the base taxes, that's actually not going to do that much. But I've got plenty in the reserve, so I'm not worried. And when I'm not at war, my budget situation is really, really rock solid. Selangor is in default. I'm going to send the Army of West Africa to this other front, because that front's looking a little weak. We have some obligations coming in, one from Bunyoro and one from the Heavenly Kingdom. Can I get anything from you, Heavenly Kingdom? Anything useful in it, that is? Not really. What's our relationship at present? It's neutral. That's fine. I will absolve our obligation. And then Bunyoro. Where is Bunyoro? Actually, one of the countries that I don't know. Okay, we're looking at... Guessing in Africa. Yeah, oh, yeah, it's one of these microstates in Central Africa. Alright, we will go ahead and absolve obligation. And that'll be just fine. Once more into the breach, Athabasca people. Once more. Happily, we only have one front, because this territory that we're colonizing is all impassable. So that should be just fine. We got plenty of bureaucracy to play with, so I'm pretty pleased about that. And this front's looking solid. France has lost their occupation in the Sahara territory, so they're trying to take from us. We have another Quechua secession. That's a little bit of a surprise. A lot of these areas are pretty are doing pretty poorly. Yeah, that's a shame. We will need to deal with that. I'm going to send the 3rd Coastal Defense Division to the North Andes just to support that situation, and that should be everything we need. We are about to get a hold of French Inner Morocco for Morocco. And that should lead to a situation where we are effectively... We're short on tanks. I'm building up more war machine industries, though. Where France loses their war support protection, and at that point, the war should finish out pretty promptly, I think, given that France is partially occupied in their metropolitan territory, their core territory. And we're rapidly moving towards them getting fully occupied. Alright, yeah, so they're losing war support at a good clip. They've lost about 3/4 of the battles. Morocco has war support protection at this time, so we shouldn't be too worried about this. Ironically, all these war machine industries that I started building up will not actually get finished until the war is over, but that's okay. Some of our armies are actually dramatically outrunning their capacity, so let's throw some new leaders in here. Let me see, you're a market liberal who aligns with the intelligentsia. You're fine. And for the Army of California, see, you're a positivist who aligns with the intelligentsia. That's just fine. No bad traits, not super worried. Alright, unfortunately I'm going to have to manually demobilize a bunch of these armies because I'll be in another diplomatic play before this war ends. Unless, of course, Morocco decides to go ahead and propose a peace deal, or, you know, France. Sure would be nice if they would do that before this kicks off, because I really don't want to have to manually demobilize everything. But if I do, then it will simply be what I have to do. Alright, well, I'm going to have to deal with that. Once again, this is in the south here. We have 2 fronts. Huh. Curious. I think we'll deal with the Athabasca situation first, and then we'll send an army to that other front. Hey, I got Standard Oil for owning oil wells in other countries. That's fun. Alright, so what are these? The Anhui clique is having a religious revolt. Can I get anything useful out of this? Doesn't look like it. It'll be neutral. This is a proletarian revolt in Cambodia. Can't be bothered with that. This is a fascist revolt in Greece. Can't be bothered with that. And once again, Great Britain's territories are rebelling. Canada, are you still part of... Huh. They're Dominion. Cape Colony is Dominion. Oh, interesting. They've done, like, exempt from service and stuff like that. Interesting. Did Britain somehow at this point become... They became reputable. Oh, man. They actually sorted out their garbage. Which is shocking, really, because Great Britain almost never does that. 2 arms. Beautiful. Alright, now the 1st Coastal Defense Force will go to... Yep, that's the front you're supposed to be going to. Perfect. And then that should be sorted out relatively quickly. We are almost in control of all of French North Africa, at which point I think these armies are all going to deploy to France. And that should basically spell the conclusion of this war from France's perspective. Or we'll very nearly get there. I'm gonna liberate Corsica. Oh, that's so fun. That's extremely fun. Free Corsica. Ooh. There's compression ignition. It's hot and fresh out of the kitchen. Wonderful. Alright, so this is a very cool production method that is going to turbocharge our mines. And all it's going to use is tons and tons of oil. So we are building up a bunch of industry in a lot of different areas. But let's get started with building up... I know one of the states in Japan has oil, and I think it's Chubu. I can't build there because I don't... Never mind. I forgot I wasn't in control of Japan. You know, sometimes you're just so used to being the overlord of Japan that you don't even think about it. Any oil... Hold on, there's a better way to do this. I rarely use this interface, but if you click the production lens and click resources, and then click oil rigs, you can find all the places you have oil that you could exploit more of. And incredibly, there's not that many, but there's quite a bit in Niger. We'll build up the ones in New Guinea. Santa Cruz down here has a huge oil reserve, as does Bolivar. And there's a bunch in Oklahoma as well, which I'll definitely queue in. And just to make sure that I'm not goofing up the infrastructure here, let's check on it. No, infrastructure's just fine. What about Bolivar? Infrastructure's okay, could definitely use a few more railways. And then what about Santa Cruz? Infrastructure is gonna need some upgrades. Some schmupgrades. We will throw those in at the top. And we'll just let those start getting built. Wait, I need to pick another research. We did oil turbine and compression ignition. Is there anything more in military? Not really. There's flamethrowers and chemical warfare. Flamethrowers does increase kill rate. Let's go ahead and pop that in. Yeah, we'll finish out military. And then I think... Oh my goodness, we don't even have film yet. Let's make some movies. Let's work on making movies. Maybe we'll throw mass propaganda in there as well. Maybe some financial stuff. Yeah, we'll worry about military later. The Treasury Department's the real military here. I think I will probably not selectively demobilize because this is not going to be too many weeks beyond when this starts, and this war should finish itself out really, really fast. Oh, actually, force comparison here is not nearly as rock solid as I thought it would be. So maybe we will need to staggered demobilize. Fascinating. But I'm hoping not. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I can just wait out the couple of weeks with our gold reserves and let this war get done, and then I'll be good to go. That would be my ideal outcome, truthfully, because I don't want to deal with mobilization nonsense. Put that army over there. Put this army... Two arms. Alright, so... Armies are nearly where we want them. That's interesting. I did not think this uprising was going to have so significant an armed force. And yet they do. Which is... It is what it is. Oh man, that's so much. You know what? We're going to do it. No, it's gonna be faster to win the war. It's gonna be faster to win the war. I'm obsessing over this pointlessly, with no good cause at all. Battles being won here. Battles being won here. Force comparison's gonna be a lot better in a second when these two armies get here. So I'm not worried. I'm a little worried. But I'm only worried this is gonna cost me huge piles of cash. When truthfully, I want it to not cost me huge piles of cash. I don't want to have to go to high taxation over a Quechua uprising. Another little by little event, this one procking in Mato Grosso. We shall make Americans of them yet. I wish I could say we're actively engaged in that. Inca uprising damaging relations. Yeah, you'd think it would be the war that's primarily damaging relations, but you know what? You do you, Inca uprising. France is going after Kalimantan for a protectorate. I'm going to declare neutrality on that. France, are you at least infamous? Yeah, France has become very infamous, which is a shame because I was really hoping to... Ooh, Dinka mass immigration. Wonderful. I was really hoping to align with them instead of, now that I've dissolved relations with Great Britain, but that doesn't seem like it's happening. Game's really chugging along here. I'm really hoping that doesn't mean that this file is becoming... corrupted or something, because I would be very unhappy if that were the case. Force comparison here is looking really solid. Yada yada yada. Army of the Great Plains has arrived over here. That area is closed out. I think we're going to probably win this war by taking all of the territory. Yep, seems extremely likely. Although we got quite a few states over here. But these battles are all looking like victories, so I'm feeling pretty good overall. We do have a an uprising, an aristocratic revolt against the Beiyang government over in China, which is interesting. And a revolution in Herat, which I can safely ignore. And Italy is going after the Shandong clique, which I might need to get involved in. But I absolutely, positively, strongly desire to deal with this uprising first, because again, all my armies are mobilized, and I don't want to... If it's not going to be a big war, I don't want to necessarily spend a bunch of time on it. Oh my goodness, I've got another... Oh no, that's just the existing civil war. Weapons of war. An article has been published by the American Daily about some of the weapons which our country uses in the ongoing United States of America versus Incan uprising war. The article focuses on the machine gun, a terrifying weapon which tears through flesh and bone at an almost inhuman rate. Members of the public are calling for the use of such weapons to be restricted. Such foul instruments of pain and torment have no place on Earth. Don't restrict them. Reduces my war support, intelligentsia salty, or cover up their usage to reduce authority. I'm going to go with the first one. I can take a hit of war support in this war. It's almost over anyway. And if I can win via total occupation, I can get everything I desire to get without a problem. Gosh, they've got so much defense. I think part of this is being caused by the... Oh, I don't actually have a shortage. Ooh, Army of the Americas needs another general. I didn't even realize. Alright, let's see. You align with the industrialists. That's pretty okay. And then we'll do one more. Both of my armed forces guys are reckless. This is ridiculous. I can't pick either of them. I'm going to have to pick this other guy and make him an even larger general. General size large. Alright, in one more week and that should end this conflict. Beautiful. And that sorts out my financial situation. I think things are looking rough because I don't have my huge bankroll from the UK. So that's part of what's going on. With that having been said, I got an extra army sitting around here that should be... Oh, I got a bunch of these. I got even more. Alright. So, send them away. The Atlantic Fleet also needs a new commander. Interesting. Let me see. Honorable Master Bureaucrat. You are the man for the job. Alright. That is the end of our war with France. We liberated Corsica. We got this tiny sort of bit of Morocco back from France for Morocco. And we protected Morocco. So I'm feeling really generally good overall with the outcome of this episode. I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun. And I'll see you on the other side.